My 1980 Honda Atc 110. I used it as a picture on the outro of the last video I made, and so I decided I'd make a video on it just to let y'all know that a little bit about it and everything. This is a permanent vehicle on the farm. It's not going anywhere. It's a lot of fun. My dad did some work for a lady, and she had it in her barn, and she was going to pay him. He said, well, instead of paying me, can I have that to pay? And she was like, sure. So that's how we ended up with it. And then it wasn't running, hadn't run in many years, probably 20 years. And I got it, and I started working on it, and I got it running. The lady bought it for her son in 1980, and he put his name back here on with mailbox stickers. So I haven't took them off, I just taped them out. But it's all original, other than I did replace the carburetor. I have the original carburetor, and I got it to run on the original carburetor, but it didn't run great. So I just bought one and put on it, and it took me forever to get it tuned right, but I got it tuned. It's got filters in the line because it's got a metal tank and there's rust in it. So I couldn't get all the rust out, so I just decided to put inline filters in the line and be done with it. They don't cause me any problems. Just helps because I don't want all that rust in the carburetor. I do have the headlight, the original headlight, but it got loose and got to where it wouldn't want to stay in there. And this does not sit in the shop. This gets rode pretty often for what it is. I ride it all the time out here in the woods and down to the pond, into the barn and stuff. It's a lot of fun to ride. So I just took that off so I didn't lose it and break it. It's got a glass lens, and I didn't want to break it. This rack, I want to say this was a option, or it was either a factory option or aftermarket. You pull this bolt right there. This is a pine knot I found up here. I won't take back for firewood, but you take that bolt out, and then this is spring loaded, and you just pull this back, and it comes unhooked from the seat, and it pulls out real quick. And then once you take that off, you come around here, and there's a lever right under here, and the whole seat fender and everything comes off. And that way you can get in there too, everything. And the gas tank, once you get the fenders off, you take a little rubber band right here off, and then undo your fuel lines, and the gas tank falls off. So it's really easy to work on. This chain drive, which back then was good, but it's been beaten out by shaft drive for many reasons. But the chain starts right in here and comes all the way back to right there, and you adjust it. You have to take this tire off, take some bolts out right here, and then take this cover off, and then there's a tensioner in there, and you have to adjust the tensioner to get your chain tension right. And your tension needs to be between 10 and 20 millimeters of slack, and there's a little diagram of how it looks in there. This being a 110 has no shocks, no suspension, just like a hardtail Harley. It's all the suspension's in the tires. You run 2 pounds of air. There's a sticker right here that says 2 psi in the tires. So they are really soft, but if you do not run 2 psi, it will beat you like a 2x4. It will just beat you to death. It is the original seat. 2 years ago when it snowed, I was riding it in the snow, and so it got snow on it, and it was, of course, it was really cold. And then I got off of it and got on it a couple hours later, and when I sat down, it busted right here in these 2 spots as soon as I sat down. So, but it is the original seat, so that's kind of cool. And it's in really good shape. I mean, I think, like I said, the headlight I have, the rack's not bent, the handlebars aren't bent. It's a little scratched up, but it is a 3-wheeler. So anyway, I don't think it's ever been overhauled. It's a pretty low hour machine, but this is just something on the farm that you'll probably see more of. I thoroughly enjoy riding it, and Anyway, for you that don't know about these are 110cc 4-stroke Hondas. They have a 4-speed transmission, no reverse, with a high-low. So the shifting pattern, if you're used to a newer foot shift 4-wheeler, or even the 3-wheelers, they are standard. They're to shift up, you pull the lever up with your foot. To shift down, you push it down with your foot. These are right opposite. These were some of the first ones they came out with, and it's 4 down, 4 up. So to go to, I'm in neutral, to go to first gear, I go down. To come back to neutral, I go up. So it's first, second, third, fourth, third, second, first, neutral. It's backwards from most anything else you'll ever ride. L, and then on the other side it has an H, but you can't see it. And it has this little lever. Right now it's in low range, and then you just flip this lever and it's in high range. So it has 4 low gears forward and 4 high gears forward. High range isn't really used that often because it will throw you in high range very quickly. Unless you're on really smooth terrain, you don't ever get in high range. Unless you're just feeling risky, but it will throw you in high range without you even knowing it. You've heard a lot of people getting hurt on these. It can happen. This one's only thrown me once, and I was in high range. I didn't get hurt. It didn't hurt the bike. As you can see, the bike flipped like once. I think it rolled one complete turnover. I was probably going 15 miles an hour. I wasn't even going fast, but it will throw you, and so you just have to respect it. It's completely different. If you've never rode one, it's nothing like a dirt bike or a 4-wheeler. It's take the 2 attributes of them and slam them together. When you drive this, you lean. When you're going to turn, you lean into your turn like a dirt bike. But instead of leaning this way, if you're making a left-hand turn, you lean that way when you're making a left-hand turn, because you want the front tire planted on the ground. So it's really weird. It takes a lot of getting used to, and you definitely have to respect it, or it will throw you. And it'll only take one time of throwing you to figure that out, because it wasn't all that fun. That's it. Y'all have a good one. Go fix something.